Finding ways to empower the parents and the caregivers that we work with is actually a really important part of the therapy process when we're working with children in play therapy. We get to experience the child for just a short period of time, but the child is with the parents, we know, so many more hours during the week. And so whatever we can do to support the parent in feeling empowered so that they can step in and really become the parent they would love to be is really beneficial and really useful along the journey of helping the child heal. Now, there are many ways that we can support empowerment in parents. The one that I want to talk about is helping them orient back in towards themselves and trusting themselves. So many parents come to see us and their head is filled with brain noise that is related to all the different messages that they have heard from, socially, from friends, from books, from parenting classes they've taken, from therapists that they've worked with about how they should be and how they shouldn't be. And what often happens is that parents disconnect from themselves and they give over their inner authority to some other authority that they've placed outside of themselves. And when that happens, they actually lose their own access to their intuition and they lose their own internal congruency and authenticity, which is needed for them to feel empowered. And ultimately, it's what the kids want for the parent, right? The kid wants the parent to be an empowered parent and to be a congruent, connected parent. But as long as the parent is subordinating and has all this brain noise about who they think they should be, they're going to have a really hard time accessing that inside. So, whatever we can do to help them turn inward, that can look like things when we're offering suggestions, offering choice, and which one feels like would work best for you. And let me know how that works for you. Offering suggestions and couching it with, I have no idea if this is going to work. Ultimately, you know if it's going to work, right? You're the one in the home, in the moment with the child. So experiment, check in. Did that work? Did that not work? Does it feel like you? Does it not feel like you? Offering access to different types of parenting. And for us not to be locked into, there's only one way of parenting, and every one of the parents I work with has to do it like this. Not true. Every parent has the option of finding a parenting style that's congruent for who they are. How do we support them in doing that? Even things like when they ask us questions, orienting back. What's your intuition tell you about what you could do in this moment? Or my guess is you already have an idea about what you could do or what you could say. What are you thinking? Or how do you think that might go? So those are just some examples, but whatever we can do to help them turn inward and to offer the message of, you know what, you're wise. Right? You have intuition. There's something in you that's guiding you and letting you know what's needed in the moment. Now, having said that, sometimes what is helpful is for us to support parents in also understanding what options are. Maybe parents don't have a lot of options of how they could respond. So, of course, we offer those as well. But even in the education and the role plays and the practice and giving them new templates and all of that, at the end of the day, are we orienting them back into themselves so they can discover how they feel about whatever it is that we're guiding them through or whatever it is we're teaching them. So, as I said, there's many different ways of empowering parents and caregivers. But one that's really important for us to keep in mind is that so many have subordinated to the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. And if we can even point their inner compass, back in towards themselves rather than outside of themselves, that's going to go a long, long, long way for their own ability to regulate and then ultimately for the child to recognize I have a congruent and connected parent, which, as I said, ultimately is what the child wants.